Okay, good evening. Today, they didn't throw morality at me. Well, I think I kicked them with their arse so darn hard it went up to their truly insane mentality and rattled them to where they said, hey, he's doing what he said. We hit him once, he's going to hit us twice. Once for hitting him, and once if we try to do something wrong, where he's going to hit us again twice. They can figure I'm getting old injuries, that if I die, you can cover it up. Yeah. If your bureau survives, if the country survives, because they are doing horrible crimes. Assassination of President Kennedy was the power behind Hoover. Hoover was not going to let him replace him. Martin Luther King, I would say, look, he's not a politician, he's a reverend. Didn't matter to Hoover. They can talk about religion, they go to church and all that. But Hoover was not going to let him be exposed as a pass for white and be replaced. With my facts that day, I was going to mail my facts in writing. He'd have those with his to replace Hoover. He was shot that day. You look at it, the coincidences. The same day, the night before, a couple of nights before. Einstein dropping dead the night before we were to work together, just because he said I was right and we should work together, not be controlled by a secret police fella. And Hoover just went a little berserk. That somebody would talk that way about him, that he didn't have the power, and he showed. True fact. Now, I had mentioned that what you see is the background in me and what I'm forced to say to the general public that's occurring at what you would understand. But to my left, as I mentioned in the previous video, I have my scientific books. Right there. Right, I have all scientific books. And I have equipment. I invested in equipment, and one of them is that if a country offered me a position, I would accept it. Any country, any place, anytime. I should be working as some retired scientist and inventor. That's what I really am. The country offers me that, yeah. Well, I don't know the language. No, I'm not going to spend my time on languages if they're not going to employ me. Once they employ me, I have some equipment that I can speak into it audibly in English, and it'll come out one of 50 languages. One of 50 language audibly. In their language, they can understand me. And if they speak with their language into this equipment I have, it'll come to me audibly in English. You understand? But when I use it, why don't these people really put what they should where their photo ops are and offer me what they should? Isn't that a true fact? No. This, bless her soul, is my sister Rita's elegant desk. If it wasn't for her, they would have me bankrupt in the gutter like they've had me. And just financially, I say financially embarrassed, financially ruined, just the opposite. I should be an honored scientific inventor, of course. Millions. Actually, it gets into the billions. Just the opposite. It's my word against theirs. You got to go into federal court of law. That takes a Constitution attorney. I barely had money to buy bread for really food. I got to get $250 an hour. And you got to put the money up front. Yeah. Equal law for everybody. If I'm president or every person, I will get their legal rights. That's what they keep saying. Well, I've gone to Washington and argued for my legal rights, and some senators would turn white and tremble and walk away. The Justice Department. I stopped the entire Justice Department when I say you get him down here and have him take, he insists on a lie detector test that are accurate. So he takes a lie detector test, and I take a lie detector test here on your supervisor's desk, on your desk. So he was telling the truth. Wow. Then he said, hey, you know, it's kind of like you say, he's got more power than the president. We'd have to defend him. What? The Justice Department to make sure that people have their laws, their rights? If somebody in the government commits a crime because they're a government employee and you're a government employee paid by the people, you're going to defend him? He says, that's the way it'll be. You have to get your own money, your own lawyer, and if you sue him, you'd be suing the government, and we'd have to then protect. We'd have to represent him. They got all kinds of experts and laws. I'd have to get Hoover to investigate himself to prove he commits the crime, then go to federal court where I use my own money, pay up front, he presents in front of a judge or a jury. If it's a judge, they can control the judge. If it's a jury, they can put one or two in the jury. And they laugh and say, hey, you know, you're a joke to us. We got the power. That's the way it is. Well, the way it is that the people of the world are rising and say, hey, more and more is coming to light. They shoot their presidents. They shoot their reverend. They shoot who's going to be the president. They got worse crime rate. They got more people in prison. They got than any other country. They got maybe more people in prison than some countries have population. You know, you can't go into a big city at night. They'll get killed. There's 6 to a dozen murders every night. This is what they say they're forcing on us because they want us to be like them. When that man for years said, I'm going to bomb you. You should catch him and hang him for killing innocent people. But for a year, he said, I'm going to bomb you. Because you give the Zionists the planes and the tanks to murder our men, women, and children. And if anything comes up in the UN, you veto it so they can keep doing it. That's the true fact. But he shouldn't have picked civilians. You have to get an army to beat whatever force they throw against you. That's the way you have to do it. You can't do it because all you do is say, see, they're no good. They kill our women and children. They kill our civilians. Of course, when we bomb them, well, it's called incidental. But we send now these drones that take a picture, and the picture is supposed to match, and it hits there, and they admit to 1/3 of civilians. They admit to that, but I think it's probably at least 50%, and some of them have proved on international TV that in some instances it's 100%. They say, well, like the Zionists say, well, there was a radical there, so we killed him. Well, yeah, the man became radical because you took their land and you have them penned in for 40-something years. You say they're subhuman. Of all people to say the Nazis did that to you for 6 years, and it's all you keep saying is about how bad it was, and now you, the same people, got these penned in and practicing genocide for over 40 years. So anybody around the world at any time can say, I don't like that guy. Hey, what have you done for me? Look what I've done for my country and for the world. For my country and just every discipline. For the world, definitely science. My lightification of electromagnetic radiation is #1 in the world. And who am I? And the first thing I did with it was to help sightless people. True fact. So I have been demanding for years, really, but especially now, I get reasonable honors and compensation. Because if it wasn't for my sister Rita, bless her soul, they would have me financially so bankrupt. I barely have enough money for food. So I can't do anything. I have to ask. To try to do something, I have to ask. that they can pay them off. They go in there and laugh in my face is what they do, actually. Laugh, just say, look, see, I go in there and bought them off. Now, to my right, I have all these books and the equipment, and then all the language translators and so forth. Yeah. All you see is me in the background and talking about how immoral they are, which they are immoral. And that about my rights, of course. But I was the original 007. And I then said, look, I got two and I'm a man, a real man. I'm going 009 to that phony, what they phonied up between our U.S. intelligence and the Brit intelligence. And if you recall, the Brit intelligence with the U.S. intelligence, they had 50 votes. See, I do this without a prepared speech or notes. And say, put it on the Boisterous Analyzer, absolutely prove I'm saying the truth. They needed one more vote. They needed 51 for majority. So they got the British intelligence them to rig a phony reports, and they got 51 votes, and now that coward of Vietnam, that duck Vietnam, I got the troops there, I got to use them or I'll lose them. And yeah, they lost men and women in that, and the men, how many they killed. And then the House of Commons put it on international, proved that they falsify those reports. Isn't that true? I didn't tell the House of Commons to put it on. Now, I say, maybe this time they give a woman to be a president. She can't do worse than that coward of Vietnam that bankrupted this country. Oh, they became rich. This country, he set an all-time record of being in debt. And that's what always surprises me. I was down in South America, and I'd say, well, could we do something with gold? Oh, no, nobody can touch gold. They mine gold where? It goes up to the United States. The United States gives them paper money. He said, oh, that's better than gold. Gold we can't use. It's a U.S. dollar. Wait a minute. You have gold, and you send it up to the United States, and you say your money is like paper, and inflation is terrific. Like in the morning, you'd buy something, and it was like $1. Let's say it was $2. By evening, the same thing would be $3. In one day, it would go up 50%. Their inflation was out of control. Their money wasn't worth anything. The U.S. dollar is what's up. They are in debt. You might not have the money you need, you say, but they're in debt more than all the countries of the world combined. Do you understand that? Their money is really paper. Where is that gold that there's some are saying now, hey, and other countries are saying, hey, we want our gold, and they say, well, we're looking for it. About the joke of Mexico. They went in there and say, well, where's the gold in Mexico? And they found one bar, I think. And somebody said, well, that's the bar the robbers, I think, dropped on the way out. The only gold that's there. What about in our mint? Where is that gold? That other countries are saying, we want our gold. And they say, well, we're gathering it. Like the plane that went to Iraq to pay our troops. Plane got there, put the $100 bills stacked up the truck, pay the troops. Truck disappeared. You don't hear about it anymore. Somebody got that truck and that money. We could have had to pay the troops. They flew, printed the money, sent another plane over there. These are all true facts. Now, here in my elegant office, what I like to do is to, what they say, kick back and think of a good smile and a song. And the one that I mentioned today, or I'm thinking about, because I used to do my work in like all night. Then as the sun came up in the morning, I would then say, hum the tune, sing the first stanza and then maybe hum the tune. Marie, the dawn is breaking. Marie, ha-dee-dee-dee-dee, ha-dee-dee-dee. Because I don't know the words and I barely know the tune. So I kind of, and Doris Day would use syllables, dee-dee-da, and Bing Crosby would use syllables, and other singers. So I don't know the lyrics, and some of them, if I knew the lyrics, I wouldn't say the song because it's negative. I accentuate the positive. So I have Stardust, and I think I've mentioned it about looking at something that was in 3D color, picturing the various forces in the universe, and how I would represent them. And then the dust clouds form stars. So there's, I can picture Hoagy Carmichael at the piano. I can't play the piano. Hoagy Carmichael plays the piano and he's singing a song. Well, just about anybody can sing better than Hoagy Carmichael, but he writes it. You know, he has something to do with the writing of the song or presenting it. So, and like Fred Astaire, I call him Fearless Fred, because he's the greatest dancer, but he is not a singer. And he encourages me, if you can sing Fred Astaire, then maybe I can try crooning a tune. So there's Stardust. Dust clouds form stars, and Stardust. I'm going to walk it through, then see if I can get to hit some of the notes. Sometimes I wonder why I spend the lonely nights dreaming of a song. The melody haunts my reverie, and I am once again with you. When our love was new, and each kiss an inspiration. But that was long ago. Now my consolation is in the stardust of a song. Beside the garden wall, when stars are bright, you are in my arms. That nightingale tells this fairy tale of paradise where roses grew. Though I dream in vain, in my heart it will remain my stardust melody, that memory of love's refrain. Well, I think I had some of the notes. And to all you beautiful girls out there, you're beautiful by nature, absolutely. You practice safety and have fun.